I'm Michael.
I'm Sally, and this is Wrestle MSX.
Hello and welcome to our first review of Raw. It just happens to be the one after Wrestlemania and in a new era, so no pressure then. Triple H opened the show by thanking the crowd, but as he started he was interrupted by chants of "Thank you Hunter" and Triple H. When he did manage to talk, he thanked Roman Reigns for what he had done, and after saying this, he also said it was the greatest WrestleMania in history. He then went on to introduce the man to lead us into a new era, Cody Rhodes.
When Cody stepped into the ring, he was greeted by chants of "You deserve it." He then spoke about goals and how he's standing on top of the mountain, thanking Roman and how the line he stood in to challenge the champion is now standing to challenge him. Claiming he is now the undisputed champion, he held the title aloft, only to be interrupted by the final boss's music. The Rock slowly made his way to the ring, accompanied by booing and chants of "Undertaker, Rocky sucks," and "Shut the flip up." When The Rock finally spoke, he congratulated the crowd on being the largest gathering of trailer park trash. You can't help but be entertained by Dwayne.
The crowd applauded and cheered, which brought a smile to Rocky's face. He then responded by telling them, "Now do you shut the flip up chants." When Rock finally got to talking, he asked if he could hold Cody's belt, as he'd held all the rest. Cody was unsure about this to start with, but agreed only if he could hold the Rock's belt. After holding each other's belts and handing them back, the Rock said he had to go away for a while. The crowd didn't miss a beat and went straight into chants of goodbye. As the Rock signed off, he said he's coming for Cody and reminded him that he pinned him on the first night of WrestleMania. Cody's response was to remind the Rock that although the Rock might be his literal boss, Cody is his champion. The Rock then took something out of his pocket, hid it in his grasp, and handed it to Cody, telling him not to break his heart again. We have no idea what this was, so if you, then can you please let us know, and we'll take it from there. The Rock then left the ring and rode off into the sunset.
The first match was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ilya Dragunov, the NXT champion. Shinsuke started with a kick and knees to the head. Dragunov fought back with a clothesline, but was then stopped again by Nakamura's offense. The NXT champion eventually managed to turn the tables and hit Nakamura with his finisher, the Tornado Moscow, and cover him for the win.
We came back after the break to see Finn Balor, Dominic, and JD McDonough standing in the ring, when then Dirty Dom introducing his mammy, who duly came down to the ring. Rhea Ripley stated it was a new era for Judgment Day before Finn Balor introduced the new heavyweight champion of the world, Damian Priest. Priest entered the ring, stood next to Ripley, they looked at one another, and then started to raise their belts. And from absolutely nowhere, R-Truth came from behind and started to raise his tag team belt with them, telling them he brought the tag titles back to the Judgment Day. Just as things were about to turn nasty for R-Truth, Miz's music hit, and then Miz got in the ring and told R-Truth to come over to him. He told R-Truth he's not in Judgment Day anymore. Finn Balor then challenged them to a tag match, with Truth making it a six-man tag, with him, Miz, and the man you can't see. I mean, I wonder who that could be.
Action had already started after we came back from the break, with the Judgment Day in full control. Eventually, R-Truth got the tag with the Miz clearing house and getting a 2 count on Dirty Dom. Judgment Day regained control, with R-Truth being beaten outside the ring and the Miz being punished inside the ring. Just as it looked as there was no hope for the Awesome Truth, a familiar fanfare trumpet played, and down came the man you can't see. Yes, you guessed it, John Cena. Cena stood in the corner waiting for the tag, which didn't take long to come. After being tagged, Cena hit JD McDonough with 2 shoulder blocks and a side powerbomb. R-Truth then hit Balor with a side powerbomb, as did Miz on Dirty Dom. All 3 members of the Judgment Day then received a 5-knuckle shuffle from Miz, R-Truth, and John Cena. This was swiftly followed by a triple attitude adjustment, all 3 men then pinning each member of the Judgment Day for the 1, 2, 3.
We then saw Bronson Reed talking to the camera, putting Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, and Jey Uso on notice that he's going to prove who the real heavyweight champion should be. This match was plugged earlier in the night and is a 4-way #1 contenders match.
After the break, we see Dominic and Rhea Ripley in the back talking about the Andrade problem, to which Dominic decides to go and talk to Adam Pearce. As he disappears, Rhea gets attacked by Liv Morgan with a chair literally thrown at her head, and the beatdown then commences. Backstage staff manage to prise the two women apart as Dom pushes the camera away.
Next out was the women's NXT champion Roxanne Perez, and she was facing off against India Hartwell, who was accompanied by Candice LeRae. Perez went to work on Hartwell's knee before Hartwell managed to throw Perez to the ropes, where the waiting Candice tripped her from outside the ring. Hartwell wasn't happy with the help, and after turning back towards the centre of the ring, Perez hit her finisher, getting the win. Very short, simple, easy match that was, I thought.
Yep. Backstage, we see Sami Zayn heading towards the ring, and as he does, he bumps into Jey Uso, who congratulates him on his title win.
Well deserved too.
With Sami now in the ring, he addresses the crowd and congratulates Gunther on his run. He then gets interrupted by Imperium. Kaiser and Vinci then surround the ring and start to climb the apron. But as things are about to take a turn for the worst, Chad Gable runs down to make the save. This inevitably turns into an impromptu tag match. Gable completely schools Vinci to start with before Vinci hits Gable with the crossbody and makes the tag. Imperium then takes control of the match, with Gable taking most of the hits. Sami manages to break up a pin attempt and the tables turn. Sami hits an exploder on Vinci before setting up for the haluva kick. As he backs up into the corner, he tags Gable. Sami then hits his haluva kick before Vinci hits the mat. Gable grabs him from behind for the Chaos Theory and the pin.
We then see Chelsea Green backstage asking Adam Pearce, Ava and Nick Aldis for her moment. They oblige by telling her to go to the ring. Maybe she should have kept quiet. Her opponent, Jade Cargill. After Jade's entrance, this is how the match went. Bell, kick, Jaded, pin, thanks for coming.
Sami then offers Gable a shot at his IC Championship next week on Raw.
So, main event time. Drew was out first, calling Damian Priest a bondage undertaker, and that the Money in the Bank briefcase cheapens the title. He thanks Seth before turning on CM Punk, basically telling him he's going to tear him a new one. As his rant continued, Jay's entrance music played, cutting Drew completely off. Reed came down next, followed ultimately by Ricochet.
Reed took early control, destroying everyone before putting Jay through a table, which had been set up earlier in the corner of the ring. A little later, Ricochet was tossed about the ring by both Reed and Drew before the two big men squared off against each other. McIntyre got the upper hand, hitting Bronson with a Mikanuchi driver. After he recovered, he, Ricochet and Jay then triple super kicked Drew, and then Jay and Ricochet simultaneously super kicked Reed. After some back and forth between all four men, Reed buckle bombed Ricochet into Drew and then went for the pin. He only managed a 2 count. Drew and Bronson then ended up outside the ring. With Reed ending up on the Spanish announce table, Ricochet grabbed his opportunity with both hands, hit a 450 splash off the top of the rope onto Reed.
This took both men out, leaving Jay and Drew in the ring alone. Drew hit the Future Shock, then backed into the corner, waiting to deliver the Claymore. As he was about to set off, CM Punk from outside the ring grabbed Drew's leg. This was enough to put Drew off, allowing Jay to hit a super kick, a spear, and a frog splash. Inevitably, Jay picked up the win and now becomes #1 contender to Damian Priest's belt. Well, that just about wraps up what we've done there. That's our first one. I mean, I don't know how you thought it went. It was a bit at times, but
we do hope you enjoyed it. We've enjoyed it, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much for watching. Hello, if you're still watching, this is just a little bit after the video that we just wanted to say we've never done anything like this before. We are complete novices. Things might change, things might stay the same. We know we haven't got the best sort of filming devices or the sound or the lighting, but hopefully you can see us, you can hear us, you understand what we're trying to convey. We hope we enjoy what we're doing. We enjoy it, even though it's only our first video. Just stick with us, and hopefully, fingers crossed, things will get better. If they don't, you can always go and watch somebody else. But if you do enjoy what we're doing, well, if you like the first video, thank you very much for watching.